Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you gotta get spotted. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, the 25th, last Friday of the month. And we have an interesting setup for today. I'm really conflicted about how I feel things are going to go today. So let's come over to the charts and first take a look at what happened. Okay, so yesterday, well, the day before was this big rout, right? We were crazy oversold, and so yesterday we took some longs. I actually took a long into the close too, by the way. Kind of just messing around, but did pretty good yesterday. Somewhere around, well, so they did come back here a little bit, and then we got news about stimulus talks starting back up, and that pushed us up into the 70 area. I actually wouldn't have been surprised if we made it to 3,300, but that just kind of fizzled out. They dropped back down. Then overnight, they bought it and rolled over. Still seeing lockdowns in Europe. And that also means over here, Treasury's up. Treasury's up towards the higher end of their range. Man, if they really move today, that could be... I don't know. Oil taking another hit today off of news that, who was it? Iran or somebody else has been increasing production and flooding the market. And
Block buy.
yeah. I don't know, that Saudi Arabia oil minister that's like, oh, all of you speculators, you shouldn't short it, is not looking so hot today, but we'll see what happens. I have no clue what's really going to happen over there in oil. Gold continues to see bearishness, as does copper. Copper's still in an acceptable area, though. On the daily chart, we're bumping into a 100-day moving average now. That's about where we found support yesterday. We'll probably see some support around there again today if we were to push down below 3204. So, that's where we're at on that. Oh, yes, and the dollar kind of mixed. Dollar kind of mixed. When we saw that rally yesterday, they came back, and now overnight, new high, as we see people panic and move over into the dollar. So, turn on the text-to-speech here. I got a couple of things here. I need to figure out how to make use of this space here a little bit better. I really wasn't feeling NQ. I can't leave this up here forever because, it shows the account name, which is okay right now, but in the long run, I can't show you which account we're trading. And let's see here, Lobo Trader, how are you? Good to see you. Gold didn't understand. Are you bearish? Well, so yeah, let's come back over here. I'm not going to say that I have a strong opinion. The problem with gold has been that a lot of people see gold as a hedge against excessive global risk. All right. But when you look at where gold was at its highs and vice versa, gold was trading like a risk asset and topped off with all of the other equities. And when gold really took this just huge day, man, at the time, I didn't really realize how big it was going to be, but this huge down day was really what kind of sealed it. And you can see that that as we've been going, it's because people aren't fleeing to the gold; they're fleeing to the dollar, which is kind of funny because we got this election going up, and it's going to be interesting to see what people do if there's a contested election or any of that kind of nonsense, right? Because are they going to flee to the dollar? That won't make a whole lot of sense, will it? But that's actually probably the most likely case. Let's see here. Michael Josman's 32.45 to 32.30 area pros came in and shorted last night. Well, Michael, it looks like that the reason they were coming in, if you look at this chart over here, we do get durable goods orders coming in here, by the way. So if you look at the time frame and kind of where because the Asian session was up and flat, but then when the Europeans took over, especially around here, that's when it really started going down. So I pretty good chance that the reason you're seeing the sell over there is because of new lockdowns in Madrid and things looking pretty bad in the UK and this and that. Okay. So we need to, after this, we need to turn on our robots. So I'll let the news come out here first. Okay, durable goods orders is 0.4 versus an estimated 1.2. So down a little bit, but not a lot. So let's, oh, you know what? We need to add, I want to add another version of ACE here. New strategy. So now we're going to do ACE 3. Okay. And remove this one. And I'm going to add another version of him. That is going to calculate on price change. Oh, that's interesting. How did I do it like that? Bar close. So this one will be fast ACE. So I want to see if how differently they behave. Lots of volatility with all this going on. We can count on that. Yeah. Well, so here's the thing that I'm a little unsure about. So this is the next thing that we need to go into. I need to look to see if Pivot Trader sent us anything overnight here. Bum, 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 ba-dum. Oh, cool. Cool. Clearing. There was a beta 5, but we didn't release it, so we skipped a version. But no, you don't miss anything. This version fixes the glitches. Blah blah blah. I don't see anything from our updates over here. Let's see here.
Lobo Trader says at Winston's mom's slightly smiling face he also could paint his fingernails with, "Trader's gonna trade. Grins and be gentle with me. I have your mug already standing here in Germany winking face."
Not going to do that. I saw the other day, I was out and there was a hat that was like, what did it say? I forget what it was. It was a Wall Street Bets kind of hat. It was like buy the dip or something like that. But we need a hat, guys. We need a hat. We need a hat. Oh, it was a hat that said money printer goes burr. That's what it was. I was like, I want that. Okay, are you getting a little bit of a sell? Are they going to try and push the sellers here? This is a hard one for me to jump at because, well, that actually might have taken a trade. I forgot to enable everything. Okay. So we'll do that. Based on the positioning, things look balanced to me, so I can't really say what it's going to do.
Michael Josman says got up in the early morning hours and bought some physical silver only to see it drop more. JP Morgan must have forgotten about the $1 billion spoof fine.
Think it was spoofing? I don't know. I've been seeing this sell program come into the E-mini, and I'm not sure if it's really like a true sell program or if it's just spoofing. But I sure see an imbalance on the level too when they're selling it, man. Like really strong. Oh, that's interesting. Recon tapes were showing times in UTC time zone if a chart was running. In Jigsaw. Uh-oh. So I'm reading I'm reading the notes from the Jigsaw charts beta, and they're saying they had a strange issue where on some PCs charts will not update. Then they update once you click the chart, and they will only update continuously if you resize the chart. He says, the last issue stumped us to the extent we had the entire team on the issue for many days and none of us did anything else, hence a lot of canceled meetings. Part of the difficulty of finding it was that if you investigated the issue on a PC with the issue, that investigation could cause the issue to disappear permanently on that PC. That sounds like JavaScript errors. Like, not JavaScript errors. That sounds like concurrency issues with JavaScript.
Vlad Stolyarov says Bazinga had 1.5B on close SPY. Never great idea to hold any overnight for SPY after imbalances to sell so far.
Well, I don't know if that's true, Vlad, because not that I really have a whole lot of stats or have been watching that for very long, but I don't think that 1.5 billion is really all that much. And the market really didn't react to it all that strongly either, to be honest. So it looks like, the European traders sold. I mean, that's really the long and short of it, right? European traders sold overnight, and we've balanced back out. Now, the question now is, do the U.S. traders have business to do today? I'm wondering if there's still end of month flow to come through, because it's the last Friday of the month. So that's certainly something that could push us down. See, right here is kind of like if the buyers are going to hold it, they're going to do it right here. But in all likelihood. UK's R number shifts up slightly from 1.1 to 1.4% to 1.2 to 1.5%. That's not good. Lad says, yeah, it's weird sometimes. Well, we've been getting, ever since they closed the floor, you've been getting really bizarre action on the market on close. And I think that more retail traders understand what's going on now. So you get kind of, I tell you what, we've seen some like wild behavior at that close that doesn't really seem to me to correlate to what the imbalance is at all anymore. So I suspect that there's a large number of people trying to trade it without actually knowing the number. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's that little move up there is exactly what I was talking about. Where the buyers will try and defend here. Didn't take much volume either, did it? Nick Gillespie tweets, what if Biden wins and refuses to enter the White House? Guess it could happen. Wish I just had a widget that would show me like, you know, like one line. You know what I mean? So like I have the DOM here and I have all the prices. What if I could get it so small that it wouldn't even show you the prices. It would just show you a meter and where the price was at the time.
Uzi Knesset says ha ha ha. Vlad Stolyarov says refuses.
This is a funny joke, right? I tell you what, nobody. So here's the thing: Joe Biden has been like cutting his campaign days short. Like they eventually Donald Trump was making a really big comeback, so they finally took him out of the basement. But now that he's out of the basement, he's been going around and like a lot of the days they just say, "Oh, he's done for the day." And some people have been saying, well, maybe they just don't want to take any risks. That's okay. That's one theory. But of course, the political conspiracy theory is that he's really is going crazy and that he's just too old and can't keep up on the campaign trail. I don't know.
Vlad Stolyarov says Joe Biden wins, goes underground into war bunker.
Or maybe he's just been doing debate prep. Who knows? So I'm wondering if, it is preparation for the debates. I mean, Joe Biden has to be preparing hard, man. Because this first debate, really has the potential to define Joe Biden. If Joe Biden stumbles, pulls a Rubio of sorts, that sort of a thing, then that could be the end of Biden, right? So they're going to be trying hard. I don't know if Biden's really like, when I hear the conspiracy theories about how far Biden's mind has gone, I'm kind of like, well, if it was really that far, would they really still allow him to be running for, like, really? Like, I get it with Pelosi. Like, in my opinion, she's gone, dude. She's gone. I don't know if she'll last another 4 years or whatever. I think she should retire, frankly. I'll be better off. But you see that thing where she was like, she just like blanked out and like was like, good morning. was like, what the? That was so weird. Oh, that was so weird. Okay, if Joe Biden was doing that, would really hope that somebody would step in and say something.
Uzi Knesset says good morning. Sunday morning.
Right. But
Uzi
I'm
Knesset says wakey wakey eggs and bakey.
I can't be so optimistic as a Republican. I have to assume that he's old, but that they can chalk him up with medication and give him Adderall and everything, and that he will be plenty hyped. I mean, he was plenty hyped during the Democrat debates. I wouldn't say that he was a stooge. I mean, what do I say? I wouldn't say that he was a pushover in the debates originally, right? So the reason that he fell in the Democrat primaries was
Uzi
because
Knesset
of
says weekend at Bernie's his ass.
his opponents were able to take him down so effectively, like Kamala Harris just absolutely decimated his record. It wasn't because he made errors. He got attacked a lot and hard, and he never really stumbled. He held his own. I don't think that it will be so simple in the debate, right? This is what you have to look forward to, because we got the debate on Tuesday, right? Like after today, I don't know if like there's end of month rebalancing flow that has to come in here, and I'm not even sure which way it would be, because we've had such a down month. I can't imagine. Like I would hope that if you're a fund manager and you have to sell at the end of the month, that you would have done it before now. But I don't know anything about that. So you got that, and then I think you want to be out because you deal with like debates and everything after this debate on Tuesday. And another one. When's the other one? Let's see. I think I have it in my phone here. Vice. I think it goes like there's a debate, and then the next week there's the vice president debate. But I could be wrong. Yep, there's a debate on Tuesday, and then there's the debate here in Salt Lake on the 7th of October, and then I didn't put the other ones in. Wow. Somebody got hit on the freeway. What were you doing on the freeway, you dope? Here in Utah. Now we're getting news about the Durham probe. Already Fletcher to investigate if Trump colluded with Russia. The FBI relied on info paid for by the Clinton campaign based on a source suspected by the FBI of being a Russian agent. The FBI then hid from the vice court who paid for the info and the fact that the source might be a foreign agent. Already Fletcher. That's true. So I'm seeing some of the squawks make a big deal out of the R number in the UK. That's like how much the virus is spreading. Latest growth rate range for the UK 4% to 8%. I'm a little concerned here by what I'm seeing, because now we're moving up here in the E-mini, by the way. A little concerned because one of the things that has been the basis of my own expectations has been that you can develop herd immunity. And that certainly seems like a reasonable assumption, because Sweden appears to have developed herd immunity. They never forced anybody to shut down, but they definitely did social distancing and everything in Sweden. Like, I really think that one gets misconstrued a lot. Sweden still shut down. It wasn't government enforced. Everybody just did it on their own. But the whole thing has been, okay, so they're the ones that are supposedly have herd immunity. The U.S., I saw a number as high as 20%, and that could cause herd immunity. But the UK has been worse than the U.S., right? They've had more cases overall, haven't they? Well, I guess probably not more cases overall, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't good. This isn't the first time that I've seen bad headlines about coronavirus.
First time here.
Hey, Sheila.
Uzi Knesset says the problem
Welcome.
is people think herd immunity means no one will get sick, so they object to the concept. I tend to think herd immunity means the impact gets lower over time.
Right. True. I agree. That the rate of transmission basically flatlines because there's not enough people to transmit it. Well, anyways, so I thought that the UK, of anywhere in Europe, other than Sweden, of course, that would have some immunity built up, it would have been the UK. And now we're starting to see an increase in the transmissibility of the virus and everything else like that there. That's really concerning to me. Because that seems to coincide with the theory that the cold weather will be a big deal, and that even with as much cases as we've already had in the
Uzi
U.S.
Knesset says it just sucks because a lot of people need this virus to be as terrible as humanly possible for politics.
Mm. The here's the thing though on that, Uzi, is that yeah, there's a lot of people that want the virus to be terrible because of Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is not the only leader in the world. You know, I guess in the UK they kind of want it to be bad too because it's a conservative in place. But I don't know, man. It's got to be more than that. I also think that people overreact to it for sure. But from a public policy standpoint, I certainly see the case that in some instances you had to,
Winston's mom says good morning, Sheila Wong, and welcome to Speculators' Day Trading channel. Ours is a friendly community here on YouTube. The pros talk on Seth's Discord and we discuss a bit of everything.
Yeah. So here on the stream, I'm mostly trying to have fun, and we're probably going to be talking a lot of politics with the election getting going here, right? So politics matter. Like honestly, right now, well, so after today particularly, who's going to win the
Knesset
presidential
says
election
people
is all
across
that
the Western
matters.
world are losing faith in government authority. Governments need the virus to be bad so people will pray for their authority to save them.
Okay. Well, I definitely think that governments around the world have reacted in ways to kind of help their own power for sure. Like that's definitely what China did. Like China way overreacted apparently. Ooh, you know, if there was like a breakout in Beijing or anywhere else in China, that would be like, ooh. What's Zero Hedge posting here? VIX spot price and the VIX index and the correlation has been weak in quarter 3. Ooh, we need to pull up my...
Uzi Knesset says I don't personally see how people can fall in love with the idea of being bulldogged by police over not wearing a mask outside, but to each their own, I guess.
Yeah, it's been crazy that there's been like these instances of, yeah, I don't know, man. There's been instances of people like getting beat down because they don't want to wear a mask. But like I don't know, don't resist the police, I guess is part of what I would say. But uh, I think that the demand to enforce it as strictly as as some people have is so ridiculous, right? 0H tweeting about something pertinent to my interests. Let me see.
Anthony K says good morning everyone.
Anyways, they were tweeting, they Zero had some tweet about the VIX and the S&P 500 correlation, and I was like, well, it's not really as nearly as correlated as you might think. There's other replies, but they're like shadow banned. Okay. Anyways, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, lockdown restrictions. Well, so here's another thing. South Dakota has been having a pretty bad breakout too lately, right? I don't know if like the number of deaths is like alarming or anything, but
Winston's mom says good morning, Anthony K.
the thing that's crazy about it is that when you apply these things over a large population, a lot of people do die. If we had just ignored it, like let me put it this way, if we had just like there had been no news reporting on it and there was this pandemics around spreading, but nobody knew about it, it would have been a complete disaster. I mean, it would have been really ugly. Now that we know about it and everything else, it seems like we're okay, and the majority of people catch it are going to be fine. It's older people that die, right? I'm really starting to come around to the idea that maybe it really was escaped from a lab. And I think that if I was China and I was developing, pathogens.
Winston's mom says South Dakota just had their
Oh, that's
Sturgis
right.
Motorcycle Week. I watched the live streams that week and very few people or bikers were wearing masks.
Talk about that in a second. Anyways, it's just like if I was China was developing a virus, I don't think that I would necessarily be developing it to like kill as many people as possible. I think I would be developing it to create as much economic havoc as possible. And it seems like that's what happened. And they they locked it down and made sure that it didn't hit their country and then did everything they could to make sure it hit everybody else. No, so Sturgis one is interesting because I've seen a lot of information trying to pin Sturgis as a super spreading event, but then downplay Black Lives Matters rallies as super spreader events. Which I just find bizarre. But I don't think that this breakout that we're seeing in South Dakota is related to Sturgis at all. It's been breakouts in like individual towns, and I don't think that I think it traces its origins to a different origin. So, yeah. Well, it's been pretty slow this first 30 minutes, even though it is up a good 7 points. But it's relative. It just still seems pretty lazy. Buyers did defend, but they didn't. They don't really seem to me, at least, to be
Uzi Knesset says super
pushing.
spreader events are dependent upon political motivation. Entertainment events are politically neutral, so they're up in the air. Lockdown protests equals spread. Riots and BLM protests equals no spread.
Yeah. Well, there's no entertainment events going on right now. Like, the entertainment industry is like all of these DJs, man. I watch DJs. They're like, it's so weird, man. They're not making money. They're doing all sorts of weird stuff right now. Still putting out records, but make money from records. You make money from touring. They're
Winston's
feeling
mom
it
says
particularly
25
hard.
watching now on the 25th of September. Can we get to 25 likes?
Oh,
Let's
wow.
try.
No
Please
way.
take a quick second to hit the like button.
When we get 15, that's good. 15. How many did we get on that awful video? That one had a good number of people watching, and I feel so dumb.
Sheila Wong says thanks Winston's mom. Just getting started in understanding
Okay.
order flow and jigsaw.
Okay, so you have Jigsaw then. And Sheila, what are you going to be trading? Are you going to be trading micro ES futures? Mm-hmm. Okay, it wasn't that bad. It got 290. It got 16 likes. 16 likes. That's funny. I should come into studio and watch it and look at it that way. I think it tells me. You were supposed to dislike that. No. If only dislikes actually made the video less viewed. Man. It's another thing that weirds me out is like I've always had this bizarre, well, not bizarre, but I don't think it's true. I don't actually believe it's true. At least I don't anymore. Maybe I did. But I had this thought that like the success of the channel is going to be directly proportional to how much success I have in trading as well. And it doesn't appear to be the case because I had a terrible day on Monday. And I've been getting a lot of subscribers lately. We've been doing well trading overall, except for that one day. I wish I hadn't been so stupid. Because every other day we've been up this week and done well. Well, no, I take that back. Tuesday was bad too. Tuesday was bad too.
Winston's mom says, the hardest choices require the strongest wills. Tilda Thanos, Avengers, Infinity War.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, that one got 39 likes. I tell you what, you want to know the impact that Reddit and search engines can make. My video from Top Step Trader has 500 views right now. My video on technical analysis that I posted on Reddit has 500 views right now. The one about Top Step Trader has way more likes and everything, but it hasn't actually gotten more traffic. Interesting. Okay, let's see here. What's the most likes we've gotten lately?
Winston's mom says, Hulk smash. The like button, Tilda Bruce banner, the Incredible Hulk.
Ooh, we got 19 on that big rally day that we had last week. Ooh, we got 20? 22. We've had some big days lately. 22. Looks like 22 is the high watermark for the last 2 months or so. 24. So if we had so the goal is 25. If we get 25 likes in a stream, then we're doing good. So click that like button. I appreciate it. There's no particular reason that we need today's video to be liked the most, because so far nothing has happened. So, but I appreciate you clicking the button anyway. Oh, so they're just saying this over the squawk. Well, let me see if I see. Wait for the tweet here. Zero Hedge tweets, quote from Goldman Sachs: September is on track to be the second month since the 1950s with a 25% realized volatility immediately following a single-digit realized volatility month. Yeah, interesting. Okay, here we go. University of Oxford says evaluation of Lamport rapid tests for COVID-19 shows high levels of diagnostic sensitivity. So this has been another thing that I've been reading about that I find really interesting, is that they're saying that the tests are like way too sensitive. And I don't know how you determine that, because a lot of people are going to have it and just not have any symptoms. But they seem to be saying that the tests are a little
Winston's
too...
mom says Sheila Wong. Speculator Seth has a video titled, What is the Best?
What is the best? What is the best rate? Well, the platform. She already got the platform, right? And the other question is Sheila from Australia? Because that's a pretty Australian name, you know. And there are a lot of traders in Australia, but we haven't had any here in chat for a while. I'm talking to Pivot Trader, trying to come up with a stat for today. I don't know. I'm still trying to come up with a stat here. What's Lampor? Read here. Lampor is a new assay in advanced development for the detection of the SARS virus. Oh, I see. Bum, 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 bum. I've also been doing pretty good on Twitter lately, which makes me happy because I look at everybody else's Twitter accounts and I'm like, wow, how do they have so many people? I got like nothing. And I try and tweet something like every other day. When I get a follow on Twitter, I'm happy. Okay, so they're still buying here. You think they could make it up to 32.44? Man, that seems really far away from here, but they could do that. I don't know. Ah. Hmm. So I'm asking Pivot Trader here stats about if it's the last Friday of the month. And it does appear that overall you tend to be up, but not really significantly. Like the statistical significance of it isn't enough to really say. But it is opposite of what you'd think. Good, right. It's hard because it's just so neutral right now. White House Chief of Staff knocks FBI director over testimony on election fraud. and got everything armed here. We could get a cell here, actually. If they take another little step up, not like an overall cell, but like one of my robots might try and sell it. We'll see.
Luis Alarid says Charles Barkley.
Oh man. I always, I don't really watch basketball anymore, but when I watch basketball, I love to listen to Charles Barkley. Mostly because he kind of liked my team. It was always like he hated the Jazz, but then as he became an analyst, he's kind of had a respect for us a little bit. I don't know. This is how we always felt, at least.
Luis Alarid said who we going call Ghostbusters.
Oh my gosh. The Washington Post. This is okay. This right here. Trump again says he may not abide by election results. That is not what he said. That is a dishonest. That is straight up dishonest. That right there. President again rejects promise to honor a vote. Okay. That's not what he said. Fake. Fake news. It's fake.
Luis Alarid says against defund the police.
Yeah. One of the things that will get me going the most is when I think that a story is a big deal and the media is not acknowledging it, Like, I think that 2 police officers being shot in Kentucky is a really big deal. That to me is like, that should put an end to whatever the political movement is that's associated with it, and it should have national repercussions and this and that. And it's like, there was stuff, I read stuff about it on social media, a lot of commenting on it and everything else like that, but nothing. It gets memory hold and the media ignores it. Was it a one-time thing? Because when it was Heather Hoyer, you remember that incident, the Charlottesville incident.
Luis Alarid says big deal now UK police shot. That
was like the apocalypse in media, And now we've had plenty of incidents that I think are on the same level, if not worse. And it's nothing. They ignore it. I remember I had so many of my friends be like, well, but nobody on the left has ever killed anybody. Okay. Wasn't because they weren't trying. And now they've killed many, many people, right? Or at least they've shot people now. Like, it's ridiculous. Or what about that Antifa guy that just like straight up shot a Trump supporter? Like, everybody's forgotten about that already. That was so crazy. And then the police had to chase him down, and he was interviewed on Fox, and then VOX. And then he had a shootout with the police, and he had like an Uzi and stuff. Like, what? Everybody forget about that.
Uzi Knesset says Vice.
Was it Vice? I thought it was Fox. VOX. Yeah, it was a left outlet, I tell you that. It's like, I can't believe that they're allowing this. I was shocked. Gosh, I got this power cord for one of my monitors, and it's touching my foot. I need to find a better
Uzi
cord.
Knesset says, yeah, cool part about being a leftist is that after you murder someone, you get exclusive interviews for narrative damage control.
Right? That and the thing is I can't believe that the rest of the media didn't eviscerate them for that. That is like really irresponsible, frankly. Like, I think it's allowed, but I don't think that it should be like okay,
Uzi Knesset says why would they? They're on the same side lol.
It sure seems like it, man. It sure seems like it. We're gonna get this thing where it's like the debates. After the debates, I tell you what, if there's any event that I've ever seen that causes people to question
Vlad
media
Stolyarov
narrative.
says yesterday's action was bearish into close kinda bounce BC short covered and sequence wasn't complete on way down, now it's complete and neutral again.
It looks neutral to me too. If there's anything that gets people like, upset about what the media says about things, it's debates. It's the after debate analysis. Like Donald Trump could here's the picture
you can't
I see.
Have revolutions without the media. Shrug.
Yeah, maybe. I think you can, but it's going to be like they're going to do a battle. There's not going to be any clear winner. And because there's no clear winner, they're going to say, well, Donald Trump set the expectations so high, and so this was a huge, huge win for Joe Biden. This is so big for Joe Biden. And you'll hear that over and over and over again. And everybody that watches the debate that was for Donald Trump will be like, that's not what happened at all. It happened with Hillary, right? Many, many times. Like, remember, Donald Trump said, because you'd be in jail. And the media afterwards was like, oh, that was so terrible that he said that. And they rated it as such a bad debate for Donald Trump. And I mean, I don't know if that really mattered to why he won in the end or not. But historically looking back now, that's like one of the greatest moments in debate history. And they all rated it as a terrible move for him. It's just like Tuesday night, Wednesday morning is going to be crazy. We will stream it, by the way. And hopefully I'll be able to play the audio for you because I think it's going to be a public thing. If prices are moving outside of the normal distribution, don't listen to me, basically. Yeah, okay. Let's see. What does this brief say? Okay. Mm-hmm.
Winston's mom says, clip election night. Speculator Seth will livestream. I will bring the popcorn and Cracker Jack. Vlad Stolyarov says, House Democrats prepare new $2.4 trillion stimulus plan with unemployment aid, direct payments. Vlad Stolyarov says 2 hours ago news. Vlad Stolyarov says so that's why we rally.
Yeah. Old news. You know what's interesting about this one? I have not seen, let's go look. I have not seen political blogs talk about this at all. So let's just go to the red site, okay? So what are they talking about? It was never Trump who Putin supported. Russia, blah, blah, is bullshit. CDC, who killed Michael Brown. So do you see anything about a stimulus? They don't care. It's a big deal that if they get a stimulus, right? Hot air, nothing. Palin threatens Murkowski over SCOTUS vote. I can see 2022 from my house. BLM protesters have worn out their welcome. Women tasered. See, there's nothing about it. Okay. Meanwhile, there was Twitter accounts in the Wall Street community that seemed to know that the Democrats were going to do a stimulus before Nancy Pelosi said anything yesterday. Isn't that interesting? They knew. So in case you had any doubt that people on the Hill send Wall Street tips, There's your proof right there, man. They absolutely tell them. So sketch. I don't think that they consider that like insider trading private information, but it really shouldn't be. Given the other laws that we have, it really shouldn't be allowed. Okay, so a little extended dump there. I think that must have been some longs that had been, long from when we initially jumped up and didn't want to hold it through the open, is my guess on that one. They're short under the VWAP, but the VWAP was all the way at 32.33. I kind of find it interesting. Sometimes you guys mention the VWAP and it's like way out there. I need to fix this. See me indexes. MES. See me indexes.
Uzi Knesset says all the talk lately about WAP made my brain confused lol.
My gosh. I remember when that first took off on TikTok. And I swipe off on it, but it would show it to you a lot. It didn't show it to me anymore. But I was really shocked.
Vlad Stolyarov says don't listen to me, I just give market excuses to be short.
Oh, okay. Actually, with any of those trends on TikTok, like, oh my gosh, the girls, they pick up on that stuff so quick. So it's like, you'll see a video, it's, some dance or whatever that's popular that day. And then you go and you watch, who else did sounds for that. And there's like thousands of girls doing the dance now. Like, what the heck? Crazy. So crazy. Wow. Like, they shouldn't be like pop. I don't know. Has there ever been anything as overtly sexual that became that popular within the cultural lexicon? Is that the correct phrasing there? That whole. The other thing that bothers me about it is the kids watch TikTok, man. Like, you're having an issue. I think TikTok is the first place where you have an issue where you're going to get a lot of content that's really for adults and it's going to be given to kids. I mean, I guess YouTube kind of had that issue too, but YouTube only had a problem with it in as much as the advertising, they couldn't do targeted advertising towards kids. Which, by the way, ever since YouTube
Vlad
did
Stolyarov
that,
says for models. Vlad Stolyarov says Instagram has links to adult sites in their bio.
Ever since they did that, it's been different. Like straight up, my kids.
Uzi Knesset says TikTok is just another way to ruin the next generation. Poor Gen Z though, them fuckers just got bombarded lol.
Nah, I don't think. Well, so here's the thing. When you talk about the impact that it has on kids, so there's a lot of evidence, and this is definitely the biggest problem that I see. At least there's a lot of evidence that dopamine saturation influences your brain chemistry in ways that are negative for your future success. So it makes you, less, less likely to take risks and less likely to go out and work hard and achieve things, essentially. And I think that there is likely a correlation between dopamine saturation and less relationships, for instance, because your brain basically thinks that they've got it all, and so it doesn't think that it needs to seek out a relationship to receive the dopamine, essentially, right? Makes you numb. Yeah, so like that's the problem. But there's this other thing, which is, and the thing that has been really pushing people lately, especially on the left, is they're concerned that use of social media can essentially influence opinions in a negative way. And I'm just like people can influence people's opinions. Like if I'm just talking to you, should we be concerned about me just talking to you? Nah, I don't think so. And I get that, like it's a weaponized algorithm and everything else like that. But I really don't think that people's beliefs and opinions are as moldable as some of these proponents put out. In fact, I think that the more social media saturation that you get, the more that people start to question what they're being fed. So I think that what you're going to create is a generation that's extremely skeptical about things, but that doesn't really work very hard, you know? And that's my concern. Now, on the split side, my kids have become entrepreneurial. Like they chase, like they're trying to figure out what the best way to make a TikTok video is. When they look at stuff, they're like, "Ooh, wait, maybe I could sell this for more than I got it." They're thinking along those lines, so that's good. At least my kids. What is so useful about TikTok? Nothing. It's garbage. I would not underestimate it, Anthony. It's the future. I'm telling you, like straight up, TikTok is the future. So I don't necessarily should say useful, because the thing is you can use any social media platform in any way that you want, right? You can put information out there, right? Like there's a financial TikTok out there. None of them are following or listening to me, but there's people out there on TikTok that have followers and have a significant degree of influence now on TikTok, because you can teach stuff as long as you can put it into a minute. You can do it on TikTok. Okay. So you can learn stuff. It can be useful, or sorry, it can be informational content on TikTok, right? It 100% has to do with what interests you. Okay. But people think that, oh, TikTok is just dancing. Like we think of it TikTok as the content that you're getting, which is really really missing the point, to be honest with you guys. You see, like, there are young girls that like it for dancing moves. TikTok is going to create an entire generation of useless pricks who think they've mastered a topic in 3 minutes. Well, there you go. Well, Reddit already did that, Uzi. Oh my gosh, Reddit. People on Reddit are so stupid. Sometimes. I see some of the dumbest stuff on the day trading subreddit sometimes. No. So the point. What is special? So let's not say what is useful about TikTok, because TikTok is a tool and you can use it any way that you want. What is special about TikTok? Okay. And this is important. What's special about TikTok is that the algorithm is 100% responsible for what you see. That's what's special about TikTok. You don't have to do anything. You can subscribe to people. But I've actually found that when you subscribe to people, that doesn't necessarily make it more likely for their video to show up to you. It's not like if you subscribe to people, they'll always show up on your For You page. There's another page that you can go to your subscribers so that you can watch only your subscribers. Okay. So subscriptions don't really matter, right? The algorithm is 100% responsible for the content that you see. And it is fucking amazing at it. That app, I guarantee you, everybody sits and think, oh, TikTok is this dumb thing There's no way that I would ever use that or enjoy it. You give it a week, you will be hooked. I promise. It is so effective. It will show you what you want, what entertains you. No question about it. It is an addictive, potent algorithm, and you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is watch, and it shows you stuff, and it knows what you want to see, and it's crazy how it figures this stuff out. Like, you look at a video, and it's about like a really, really esoteric topic that you're interested in, right? There's no tags on it. This creator's not popular, and yet it knows what that topic is about and that you're going to be interested in it. It's crazy. It's crazy. I would love to see Seth do a TikTok. I'm on there. You look up Speculator Seth on TikTok, and you can see my random videos. Here, you want to see one of my random TikTok videos? I'll show you. Let's see if I can get it to show up. Now, I don't know how to bring up a particular person. Ah, okay. There you go. I won't play the sound here. The other thing that's cool about TikTok is that you can use any kind of music that you want, and that's kind of cool. But that's why I delete it. It's crazy because China is best at surveillance. Yeah. Chinese are better at algorithmic behavioral engineering and prediction. This is news. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily that they're better at it. I mean, I think that they're probably using the same sort of things that. Gosh, so freaking hilarious, dude. This is actually a Snapchat filter, but I digress. That's Snapchat. I don't think that they're necessarily doing anything different from like what Snapchat and Facebook is doing and everything. I think the thing that is different, like the paradigm shift, is that there's always been this thing like on Facebook where it's like people want to have control over their page, right? Like they changed the page and then people got mad that they weren't getting the updates. So then they set it up so that you can say like show me this first and stuff like that, right? And there's always been this thing that like the user should have some control over what is popular. And TikTok says no. TikTok says the user doesn't actually know what you want. The algorithm knows better than you do what you actually want. And the scary thing is that it's really effective. Actually the algorithm does know better than you what you want to watch. Sure. Well, you can't stop it, guys. Like, you think it's gonna happen? Like, the data is out there. People are going to use it, and governments are going to utilize that data. Can't stop it. I think the idea of like not putting anything about yourself out there, and I think is kind of pointless. It's not going to affect you. Like your life's not going to be better because you didn't put information on Facebook. You just miss out on the fun. It's the same thing with TikTok. Your life is not necessarily going to somehow be better than everybody else's life because you didn't use TikTok. It's really not. You just miss out on the fun. Just don't let the it's the same thing with trading. Like, you realize that trading has a massive impact on how your brain works too, doesn't it? right? Especially like when you got real money on the line, like your brain thinks it's dying. Your brain thinks it's dying and you do crazy shit, right? It has a way stronger impact on you than social media does. You've got to compensate. You have to just be aware of what the effects are and deal with them. Yeah. Okay, so they're selling a little bit here. Push below the open, and now they're pushing below these levels where we had some sells. I'm still a little weary to be trading it outright because I see a lot of new liquidity in here. A lot of people did just go short, but I don't think that they were all, it's a little bit it's impulsive orders. Oh, that guy's got a problem with the. So you can tell when he's on. Like, oh, they put the phone in his hand again. Gmail, YouTube, another Google service is hit by a service outage. Really? I'm not noticing. Again? It did get to your 380 you talked about the other day. You said the other day 380, and they did get down there. These guys don't want to give up. Do you know that people were still buying 500 calls for Friday? Like, what the hell are... So I saw this one TikTok, and it was... yeah. So I saw this one TikTok that was from a female creator that was in trading, I guess. So, like I tell you, it freaking knows. It's like, okay, you're into trading. Let's go and find a member of the opposite sex that's interested in what you're interested in, and you'll probably watch it. That's what it does. And it was just this video of her staring at the camera, and it said, just two people that overestimated themselves on TSLA. And I'm like, think again, sucker. Fuck that stock. No interest. No interest. Do not want. If everybody, I go to YouTube, sorry, Facebook. I go to Facebook and everybody in the day trading Facebook group is talking about that stock, I don't want it. If I'm long in that stock, I'm selling it. Don't want to be in what's popular. Gets popular, that means it's time to take profits. Okay, so look at that. They went long. So they were kind of pressuring the shorts there and it bounced. So and the way that it bounced was really quite bullish. Okay. Oh, we need stops. We're not playing that game today, so we'll do this one. Okay. They're probably going to pressure us a little bit. But since they broke that high, I think that you're going to see a lot of short-term traders flip just like I did. And it is a Friday, though. It could still be tough. Oh, there's a little click. Seeing oil move up by 2, by the way. See new high. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. I'm gonna take the easy ones today, I think. There could, I wouldn't doubt there could be more in that. In fact, I could potentially see this bull run moving all the way up to 32.45 before we really encounter significant overnight resistance. But let's just take like equal risk reward trades here and see what we can get. I'm starting to, I don't know. I really liked those trades where I was catching these runners, and I really want to let the runners. But lately, I've been starting to really get more into the idea of an equal risk reward trade, because I feel that when you have an equal risk reward trade, that you get better feedback about how you're actually doing. I actually got an okay price there too. Okay, yeah. So I'm still seeing a lot of stacking, like new stacking. Costco had earnings and is down 2.36%. Ooh, that's pertinent to my interests. Let's see here. It's starting to get to, I have to make more room. Cool. Cool. Fix lower. E-mini coming back there quite a bit. We're going to come back to the moving average, and yeah, of course they do. Like to the tick, right at that moving average, man. I have to tell you something that I find so interesting about technical analysis is that you might not have an edge with a particular technical setup, but you can't say that it doesn't matter. Look at that. It matters. It bounces off of it to the tick. People definitely watch it and people take it as a bounce. You might not have an edge. It might be that when it fails, it's too bad, but it definitely matters. Somebody's watching it. What moving average is that? Is a secret. Is it a secret? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's just a simple moving average. It's a 10-minute moving average. I guess it doesn't really matter because we're not using it. Set that chart up a long time ago, and it's mostly there because of how cool it looks. Is that okay? Is that okay that I have a chart that's mostly because it's cool? Actually, I do find the weight movement on the one range chart useful. Personally, I do find it useful. Maybe it's just comfort, but I find it useful. Okay, let's make a chart here. Let's see here. What's Costco's symbol? Cost. Ooh, yes. That's ugly. Ugly. I'll do it over Let's see. So let's do this. I want to look at like 1 year's worth of data. Okay. So they've done. Oh man, they did really well last year. Pandemic was a little crazy. Like, okay, so there's February. Well, they took a hit like everybody else, but they came out. That's I actually thought that they did better than they did during the pandemic part. But here afterwards in the summer they did great. But now they're coming back down. You think we could see 300 again? Hmm. Interesting. Tesla is opening a little bit higher, touching 400 again. I think Tesla's going to fizzle out. One of the questions that I've been having is Tesla been driving the Nasdaq? I think it may be because yesterday when Tesla was rolling over, I see everything else. Okay, so we're back down here. And I think they're on the open. You're likely to see them push. I don't know if they're gonna make a new low or not. Okay, well he's definitely pushing for it. Three of Britain's main supermarkets introduced limits on certain products, raising fears of another stockpiling crisis, says Bloomberg. Okay, they kind of kissed the bottom there, but didn't go. Not appear to be done yet. Hmm. Dang it. It is really frustrating when you're the tick, one tick, and you're not getting filled. I'm too efficient, apparently. Okay. Close, but no cigar. Okay, so now I am seeing a little bit of liquidity holding around the 30 area. I'm just going to bail right here. If I had gotten the price that I wanted, I would have gotten it on that one. Hmm. Okay, they're pushing into the sellers again. I'd be really surprised if that's the only excursion they get off of that. Uh, Wait, what? Oh, right. It's not secret. The I've found that the condition that has to stay a secret is a little bit more than that's just the entry price. Hmm. Oh, I have to say, selling looks a little disappointing. And then back above here again, huh? When he does that, does it? Well, it's a little bit. I don't know. Wow, that came back so far. Or let me rephrase. So you're getting like this volume node here. Pretty tight. course, it fails on me. At the moment, it looks to me like a fight with really a fight between the market makers, with the larger guys not really showing a strong opinion, but buyers for the moment winning out. I think we'd need to break that opening high first before it would really become clear. Mm. You think that they need to sell over there? I'm noticing that all three of them are sitting up at their highs. So for the E-mini to really take off here, you would need to see. I think that the treasuries would have to sell, but it's such a tight range. Okay, so up there, a little bit of a fizzle out. I don't know. When you get up to the top and it turns around, it kind of looks like it just like it turns. But when it comes down to the bottom, you notice it goes. Doo, 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 doo. There was some stacking up there. Hmm. Well, I really don't like where my stop ended up being. Hmm. This is a bad trade. Maybe it yet works out, but I'm just really unhappy with where my stop is at the moment. Okay. My stomach is making a ton of noises here. What's the The circus? Are you saying that my channel is a circus? Vlad says can't trade this. Well, don't let yourself get overstimulated here, dude. You try and read into every tiny little thing that happens, right? So when I see you post a lot of different things, I say, well, it looks like he maybe is having a hard time seeing what really matters and what doesn't. Because I don't think that everything is that matters, even though it's used, even though it's interesting stuff. Like, I think it's fun. I think it's interesting to know, but I don't know if it really is predictive about what's going to happen, right? This is your circus. These are your monkeys. Oh, no, wouldn't have a monkey circus. Come on. They have a freak show circus. Hey, go, 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 go. Come on, you can do it. One more. Uh, 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 uh. Come on. It's okay. It's okay. You just catch your breath for a second. You can do this. A little clicky click 3110. I should do this so that it doesn't reset if it goes up. Okay. Almost. Well, come on. You're gonna have to hit it with more than 100 contracts if you want a new high, dude. I don't know. Do you see what printed there? 86 into 37. That wasn't holding. That was they just weren't interested in taking it yet. Okay. So somebody just stuck one at 33.75. So of course they toy with them. Okay, well you got filled. And then he put one at 34. Seriously? You're just gonna take that tick? Wait, was it a tick? No, it might have been a different person. They're not equal in size. Okay. Oh, he pulled it. He pulled it. That was a spoof. In my opinion, spoof. Okay. Ooh, this one's looking a little nicer. Looking a little nicer. Oh, there's still somebody must not want it to happen. It's not like I'm seeing like 500,000 trade up there though, right? S&P 500 buy puts in 31.85. What? That is so far away. Yeah. I'm sick of this out of the money nonsense. Like, it's interesting, but I don't think I actually want to know that they're doing that. So you're just going to be influenced by degenerates. Okay, so that was probably like the fourth test of that. Oh, my death robot did finally take a trade, by the way. Hmm. That didn't work out the way that it was supposed to. I wanted it to just flip at 30-31, but it didn't. So now that's going to be a bad trade too. Well, I have to say, considering where we're at, for them to have not been able to extend there that high is really bad. It's not down so far that they can't recover it and try again necessarily, but um, it doesn't seem like that they're able to attract new participants into this market. And with what they had a pretty easy new high that they should have made, and they didn't have enough people buying into the high to do it. So I suppose that doesn't have to be bearish, does it? Because it could just mean that people don't want to participate today. It could just mean range bound still. Noticing though that the cumulative delta took a real dive there. This is a good question, Eric. So I think that of course a stimulus bill is positive for stocks. But we also have to remember that a lot of the up move that we had was always premised on the idea that we were going to get a stimulus. It wasn't until, they didn't give up on that until we started coming back down. So the issue that I see is that even though that is a bullish thing, it's not a bullish enough thing that like we could get back to all-time highs again. And at this point, I really feel that what you've got going on with the election and so forth is way more important. And so and also the second wave in Europe, if they're locking down in Europe, that's also, you get stimulus that's good, but only because you're really trying to what counteract the negative effects of the virus continuing into the winter. So it's not a good thing. Yeah. So that I think that we read that one right. I remember I did say I'm not sure it has to be negative, but I think now we should look at that as they attempted to try that 4 times and failed. Flynn case bombshell. FBI analysis brought insurance fearing they'd be sued for misconduct. What? Huh. And Donald Trump is retweeting stuff about it too. No journalist has ever asked Barack Hussein Obama to explain how the Trump campaign was spied on and General Flynn was framed during his administration. It was a pretty ugly stop out. But I have to wait. Where can I do it at? Okay, hold up. Oh wait, did I took 3? A little slow on the draw there. Okay. Good. So where do I want to put this? I could actually put it at 34. I'll manage this later, but yeah, I thought so. Look at that. A little late. So a move at the open, that's fine. Or a move back to the open, that's fine. Longs definitely picked up some there. Maybe I should have taken all 3 off down at the bottom. I don't know. But I definitely don't feel like adding back on here. Very sorry, Kim Jong-un issues rare ultra apology over killing of South official. Okay. China is willing to work with the new Japanese government to properly handle historical and other major sensitive issues. What's this? Well, I don't know if I'm brave. I'm playing with the house money now, man. I mean, you see how much I made on the sell? Here's the thing. Yeah, everybody got bumped. Everybody got pushed out on that move. Like there was some definite longs getting stopped out and everything. Like the inventory, it went right to where it said that it should. So at this point, for us to come back even above 32, 31, 25 doesn't necessarily tell me anything significant about the future action as to whether or not they'll be able to make another new low or whatever, right? I would say it's somewhat uncommon for them to make a new overnight. Well, I guess that wasn't a new overnight low, was it? Let's say it's uncommon for them to go and break the low of the range and then go and break the high of the range. That's not very common. So I'm just gonna wait and see if volume comes on here, because I am seeing some orders put on, some people putting their lures down above us. Okay, yeah, okay, interesting. Somebody bought that 30. That was a 500 lot actually at 30. Okay, well, I have a long worn out my welcome with those ticks. I knew that it was coming. Like I took profits down there. I just It's a little faster than I expected. I am seeing big bids put on here. So I'm going to try some of these. Really? Huh. I don't like that either. What? Huh. Well, I tell you what, if they don't break that high. Sure. Hmm. It's probably more. Yeah. So you get that kind of like that slow, like it peters out, then it goes anyways. Question now is we got a little bit to get to 45. I really think 45 is okay. Above that, though, I start to be like, hmm. I think I need to go get tested. Apparently I was in contact with somebody, but it's been almost a week and I don't have any symptoms. So I think that means that I'm not even sure if they'll test me. Okay, well, I think that there could be another step up there, but that's definitely like the target area. Okay, let me go use the bathroom. We'll come back. Going long? What better? Well, I don't know, dude. Like, there's still a little bit left in it. There's actually a little bit left in it. I don't know if I could take that price. I'm tempted. There's still a little bit left in it. I don't know what's going on here in the 5-year. Did any of my robots not face Ace never talk one? I don't know what the deal is with that. But my robots don't seem too interested today. For whatever reason. Eric says, how you do your stop? I don't know. I guess. So here's one thing that I can say is that when I take a trade, I'm very often thinking about where I think it's going to go to. So I'll have a spot. Like I can see down below us, if we were to sell again, which I don't know, seems really unlikely. But if we were to go again, it looks to me that it's quite likely that they would be able to get below the regular session low, if not the extended session low, actually. Yeah. 3206 actually looks like they could push through there. Okay. At least they have enough fuel to do it. On the upside, I see 45 and then maybe 66. Let's say maybe 66. So when I take a trade, I'm kind of thinking, okay, if I take a trade here, where does that put my stop? Like, where's the downside target for starters? Like, I want to be definitely above that. But then it also could be, what is 8 or 16 ticks away from there? Is that something that they're going to go for? Because you don't want your stop over in a spot that they're gonna go and seek liquidity at, right? And then, I will kind of up it. I think that I base it way too much on my current performance. But I'll move this stop up based off of areas I see that again are targets and put it a little bit past that target to be like, well, you really shouldn't be getting back here, especially if I really want to let it run. On that short, I really wanted to try and let it run, but I I didn't think they were going to do that. I thought they were going to come back up to the open and go back down again. So that was the kind of thing. Is it was like it got up there, I manually took it out. All right, a little bit more there. Okay, interesting. I haven't been able to get any of my robots to get triggered. Yeah. Now here's where I say that I'm not sure. I'm still having a hard time with something, which is like if I get in here and then I've got like a stop down here and a target up here, okay, and it comes up, and I think I've got a runner, right? I want to be able to let it run, but I'm like all in, all out right now, and I don't necessarily want to take multiple orders and everything else like that. So it's like I just don't know. So then it's like, so I don't take it there and I try and let it run. And if it does it in this case, then it's fine. But what if it does like, um, what if it does something like this? It goes up. Okay. So I move my stop up to here and then it does that, you know? Then I get taken out and I regret it. So I really try and play it by ear, but I don't think I've completely got a consistent way. And I don't know if there really is like a best way to do it. So. Well, I have spots where I know that it's going to be hard for them to extend beyond that, right? Like I know that at the moment, anything above 50, 60 is like really high. Okay. The thing is that we did see some institutional action on this move up. Like we did see big orders. We're sticking them out there and trying to get filled in certain spots. So, that certainly is a thing. There's some pretty big orders being put like really far out there right now. Fox News poll has Biden ahead of Trump in Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. Like, really? Well, whatever. It would be interesting to see this first debate and what happens after that. Futures Trader 71 has a video of a guy trying to ride a pig. That's pretty much what happened. See, trading NQ. You guys are all crazy. You're trading NQ. Seriously. Bollinger Bands or scores? Nope. Eric, I'm literally running a simulation based on all of the orders that are out there and calculating where they should stop out at. So it's a I guess you could call it like a Bollinger Band, but it's based on order flow. NQ, the Widowmaker. It is Widowmaker NQ. I thought it was funny the other day. I saw there's this one guy that I've kind of argued with in the past, and I've felt like you got a guy that is really not that experienced, but is presenting himself like he's really experienced, because he'll come in and he'll say things that like I've tested before. And I'm like, well, that doesn't work. You know what I mean? And so, okay, then that's short. That one lost 2. The depth bot not doing so hot today. It's kind of expected though. Anyways, and he would trade NQ. So he was just doing a lot of things that was to me like, okay. Like anytime that I see somebody saying they trade NQ right now, I'm immediately thinking, okay, I don't know what they're doing. Because it's no offense to anybody that does it, because maybe there is one of you guys out there that does it successfully, but most traders are attracted to NQ because of how far it moves and how much money you can make on it, and they don't realize that your ability to actively trade it as a human is really limited, and it's difficult to mess with. So I saw that, and then the other day he was like, I've decided that I want to start trading the S&P 500. I'm like, my bot trades MNQ, encouraging results so far, a lot of work. Well, if it's a robot, that's a totally different thing, Steven. For sure. I don't know if my bots would do well on NQ though. This is just such a thin instrument too. That's the crazy thing about it. The baby is unhappy. Christine Laguerre, the uncertain fate of Europe's economic recovery. GerzoMedia.com. Never heard of them. NQ is crazy. It is too dangerous, Eric. You're totally right. It's listen, NQ is not for beginners. Let me put it that way. Well, that's one way of doing it. Well, I have found that setting your stops and targets based on the average true range I have found a few cases where it helped my strategy. I was actually implementing that last night. So you notice I got like ace. So I got here, I've got ace, and then I've got fast ace. But it's ace 3. I actually made an ace 4. And none of the things that I did to ace 4 actually improved it. So I went back to ace 3. I would really like to see an ace trade here, but it hasn't taken one. It's probably not enough trend to do it. Jin, jin, jin. What's this? What is this? Well, my dom is all jacked up there. Because of what I'm seeing there, I'm not gonna touch it, but something must just happen. Okay. So just as a note, if I had had a lung there, I'd be taking it all. Because that's way beyond any of my targets. That doesn't mean that it's not going to continue. But it kind of suggests that something's going on. So how did that happen? That's a little crazy. The only thing that I see on my news squawks is U.S. grants transactions wind down on sanctioned Chinese company. I haven't heard anything from Financial Juice. Sadiq Khan is talking. I don't think that that's what did it. That had to have been something. I guess it could have just been a really big guy bailing, but that was extremely unusual volume. If it was a buy program, it could be. There might have been, the way that it was trading up reminds me of those options moves, like somebody buying a lot of options and forcing market makers to buy it. I'm still like really weary about it. Say just get households should be prevented from mixing in London lockdown. And that's all I got there. You can look HFT alert on Twitter. I'll look that up. I want to know. I would really want to know how they're determining that it's a buy program. Because that analysis might not be even half as sophisticated as they shown it to be. Do they have a website? Okay, they have a website. Let's see if their website explains it. Scans for block trades. I don't think that this is. I'm not convinced that it's worth shit. Just reading here. It doesn't look like they're doing anything that we don't already try and do with the DOM, and you can't really make a really good prediction off of. And they're showing like ABC patterns and shit like that. Like that looks to me like good marketing, but not no proof of efficacy or anything like that. Algos in dark pools. For the transactional accumulators, we can separate out trades run by algorithmic trading systems in dark pool venues from the full feed main accumulator. How do they do that? I think they're full of shit. I don't think they're actually looking at the pool. Well, they kind of came back up off of that low. Um, well, there was a pullback and they kind of held it. By the way, like the book was not very high when we took that too. That's really weird. Everything about that move was unusual. Who cares if they've been around for a long time? There's lots of scammers that have been around for a long time. I'm not calling them a scammer, but I'm just saying there's a lot of things out there that don't work, and people have been using them and making money off of it for a really long time. And it doesn't mean that their service is worth anything. And they get your stop on a down spike. Well, like let's say that I decided to run this up. Like if I had taken the long and I had been holding and I hadn't taken my profit target, because I don't know, I can't think of any reason why I would want to hold that and look for higher than 45. But I digress. Um, One of the things that I might do is if I'm really trying to be generous, then I'll move it down below like the range. So like below 32, 38 right now. That's like if they go down to 32, 38, that's a significant change, right? Now you got to be careful with that one because they like to go there. They like to go there. But that's the one where it's like if I really think I have a strong reason to be in a certain direction and that we're going to trend up, they're not going to go down there. If it's in range bound action, then they actually are extremely extremely likely to go down. Yeah, I don't see anything to cause that, but because I don't know, I'm just out. Because I don't know what caused it. I don't want to be in a position. Can they get your stop on the down spike if they see your position elsewise it goes trade? Well, nobody can see your stop. And I mean, it's because all of the orders are anonymous. It's pretty hard for them to, you know, see what your position is either. But the thing that you'll find if you really watch my cost basis chart really well is you can see that they know where everybody's positions are, right? See that? They knew there was positions here. They knew there was positions here. Stop these guys out. Stop these guys out. It's 100% engineered. It's 100% engineered to screw over as many short-term traders as possible. And once you realize where everybody's taking positions, so this is one of the big misconceptions I had about order flow. I used to think, oh, there's a iceberg, there's like tons of volume going through here back and forth. I want to participate in this. It's going to get a lot of people in a position and then it's going to move, and I really think that they're going to move it up. And so I should be able to get a good runner. There's some truth in that. But the reality is that when something like that happens, your probabilities are really poor because they do this. They do this. They go, oh, okay, let's stop everybody out first. And then once we've got all of the volume that we need, then we'll make the move that we want to do. And you really have no clue what they're actually going to do because it's random. They'll just ping it back and forth until they got what they want. So you can't really, there's no way for me to know. So instead, what I think is a better way of approaching it is saying, I'll just do it with volume profile. I'm not saying that you should trade with volume profile, but I'm just saying, okay, I really want to be long. I really want to be long because Congress is going to do stimulus. Let's say today that would be one of the good news events to say I want to go long. Okay, I want to go long. Where should I try and get long at? Yeah, probably, you look at one of these. There's this area, right? So if I know that everybody's positioned is in here, okay, then what does it take to push them down? So you could actually get it, down into this 32 area. Or to be more precise about it, let's just, looking at it right now, right? If I really wanted to be long, where it would be the optimal thing, anything below 32.24 would be optimal. Now you got to ask yourself the question: if we get down to 32.24, are we going to hold those lows? Is it really still a buy at that point? I don't know, right? Another option is you could try it at 32.38, right? But here again, you got to think about, okay, if it crosses that line, is it going to come across, or is it going to bounce, right? But if I know where the people's positions are, then I can actually pick a good spot, right? I can say, okay, 32.38 is where most people are long from. If they're going to go and do a sketchy move, they're going to stop all those guys out first, and then they're going to go. Or maybe they go and bounce off of this, That's that sort of a thing. Right? That's how I determine it. Well, I suppose that's a way of looking at it. I just say what I do because I can very clearly see where they get to these points. They'll push it to those points and then turn it around. And that the market makers are intentionally letting it go there. And I don't know how they figure that out, if it's just like the robots have come to that conclusion, or that the market naturally goes that way, or if these guys have like developed this and they're intentionally messing with us. I don't know. All I know is that I will see the liquidity pull it to a spot to screw everyone over. Yeah. But that's where I'm saying it's not like they're coming after you. They're coming after everybody. Because the problem that you get is that you are in all likelihood positioned the same way that everybody else is. So let me ask you a question. Who is long? Who is long right now? And if you are long right now, what price did you get long from? It's not about you, it's about everyone's positions. Well, you want to get better than everyone's positions, right? The better of a position you got from the average, the less probability you have of being stopped out. You're not long. Because I'm going to bet if you got long and you're still in, you're probably long somewhere around 32, 38. In all likelihood. If you got lower than 32, 38, then you're doing good. If you got lower than 32, 21, then you're doing awesome. That's really optimal. Botsa says he's long from 32.30. See? So he is actually a little bit above where we would want to be. Is there anybody below 28? See? It's like that's why I'm saying it's not like they come after you specifically. It's like they can calculate over the average where everybody's in from. We just model users' behavior. We just say, okay, well, people tend to get in this way and they tend to get out this way, and then I'm going to go and find an order flow that matches that and attach that to their positions to say this guy got out and this is how many people got in here and this is where the positions are left. Not saying that it's a bad thing to be long at 32.30 right now. I mean, come on. Oh, he got 32.30. I thought he said 32.40. 32.30 is good. 32.30 is better than average. It's actually like right in the middle. Okay, so this is pretty good. I'm just if I was long at 32.38, you know, if they were a pullback or they were to start doing sketch stuff, I would be concerned, right? Ghost trade bots can't see can we do. I don't understand what you're saying, Eric, but I think Ninja will let me do. I don't know what you're talking about. I really want to know why it's jumping like that, man. LA driver crossing BLM protest gets chased, beaten, and arrested on live. What? Andrew Kumo, update on the numbers. 908 positive tests, hospitalizations at 511, 7 fatalities. I still don't see any news. I'm concerned because we get Canadian budget balance in a minute too, by the way. I'm concerned because I think that activity could be options shenanigans again. And if the only reason that I have to be in the market is because other people are in the market, right? Then the only reason that I would want to stay in is if I got a better position than other people. So for me, preferably below 21. Definitely about below 38, but preferably below 21, right? Especially since we're like in the stop out zone. So they'll push through it for sure, but to really continue up here, you need new participants. And if there's not news, if it's not news that's driving it, then we have to question whether we'll actually get new participants, right? Anyways, I need to do more stats on it. I think I want to, well, I don't know how I'm going to do this. The problem with the cost basis indicator is that it is expensive. like, like it's a lot of memory to process. And so, like, trying to do it on a replay, like a back test is like insane. There's no way that's gonna, no. So I could try doing it live and trying to filter my trades based on that and only take, change my direction based on that. I don't know how much it would affect it. I think it would probably really help my depth robot because he took two trades today and I think they were both bad. Which I actually thought it would do okay in this range, but the cost basis indicator does great in a range, right? We're just not really in a range anymore. The trend on the daily, remember Wednesday, the drop, they sucked you in, yeah. Well, no. You're talking about the drop after the initial, like, move higher and stuff? Kind of hard for me to remember that far back, Eric. Well, they dropped a little bit, but they're still kind of in, like, an acceptable range, so I don't know. I don't know, because I don't know why they bought it. I really don't. This is I could be wrong. Watch, they're gonna go and they're just gonna pump those highs, and we're gonna have 100-point move up, and I'm just gonna look so foolish. But my opinion is that if you don't know why people are buying it, then you shouldn't be buying it. Especially not when you can see a market that like everybody's in. I mean, I know it's a theory, but based on my indicator, like everybody's in. You need either a significant pullback or new market participants to make another new high. Otherwise, we're likely to come back to, as I said again, 32, 39. Well, 39 now. It was 38, right? Trapping both sides. Eric says, Ninja Trader let me do my own program. Yes, you can program in both Ninja Trader and Thinkorswim. And they don't sell your order, in futures, you don't get your order flow sold. So it's not. Yeah, look, now they're falling out. Okay, so like I kind of got a couple of lines here that we can see they matter, right? So 30 to 42. below 32.42 is kind of like midterm downtrend then. Out of your stop. So John, did you you set that out at the pivot? Yeah. So I gave you the cost basis inventory cost basis, right? So I have to say, if I show you here for John and for anybody else, like I said, it's very difficult to stay above this line. It can happen, but the only way that it can happen is if new participants are entering the market. And you've got to know that if they're not able to sustain that, then the most likely location for them to go to is to go back to the buyer's break-even spot. And then we see if the buyers want to buy more. If the buyers were smart, they took some profits up here and they're ready to load up again, then that's when you'll get a bounce like that. Yes, I believe you did. Okay, cool. You go on it, and then there's a setting in it that's like is cumulative, and set that off. And then, put like your session templates that create a break on the open and everything, so that it will reset, because it resets when the session changes, and then you get that. Because again, like the way that I read it is like if I'm long, like preferably like the best trade would be buy below this line and sell above this line, right? But it's only good at explaining people's current positions. It can't predict when new participants are going to enter, right? So like on a day like today, Friday, it seems even though we had that crazy move, especially this first part right up in here, range bound, works really good in that kind of action. Or London Mayor Khan urges the Prime Minister to ban household visits in London to tackle the COVID. What? Household visits must soon be banned for London's 9 million residents. That is insane. Oh. That it's not like, huh. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Like of course we've had lockdown restrictions, and like restrictions where like you're not allowed to go outside of the house unless, and everything. But to actually say like to ban household visits, it sounds so crazy to put it like that. Like you're not allowed to talk to other people. You know what I mean? Eric says, "Are you talking ghost trades? You can't see what these money are doing." I don't know what you're talking about, dude. You should type things out a bit more. If you're saying that you can't know what the money is doing, I can see when you executed. I can see when you executed, and I don't know if that's an entry or an exit. Sure, but I can model it. I can guess, and it turns out that the guess is actually pretty effective. That's how it works. Okay. So we finally get the Canadian budget balance. It was like 10 minutes late at the negative 28.23 billion. Eric says, not so. They have ghost trades. You can't see. You don't know what you're talking about, Eric. So if you're talking about dark pools, that's not a thing in the futures. It's not the same thing. That's a really, like, the dark pool is really a stock thing. Really, you think about it, doing a dark pool with futures kind of like almost defeat the purpose, because the reason that futures are so useful is because they're so liquid. Well, you can see dark pools after the fact, if that's what you mean. They report the transactions afterwards. Yes, that's true. But you can't see what's happening when they're doing it. Trust me. We wrote the pools. We wrote the pools, and we weren't giving that data to anybody other than the customer that executed it. Mm, I think you're, especially when we're talking about S&P 500 futures, like, I don't think that you really understand enough about how a dark pool works and why it's used and who uses it, to really be saying some of the things that you are, to be honest. And I'm not like a super expert on the dark pools, but like we did write them when I worked for one of the banks. So I know a little bit about why we wrote it and how it works and so forth. Right? I know that it's a private exchange, that it's really mostly just big guys exchanging really big blocks of trades, that it gets reported to the market afterwards. And it has more to do with that in stocks in particular, it can be really hard to transact for these large institutions. That's really where it comes from, is that some of these guys, like they the amount that they have to accumulate is so much. These robots see anything and they just go crazy with it. And they're kind of stepping up there again. So here again, like in my model of things, you're only able to do that if more money comes into the market. Now that was like really tepid. So I don't know if that was new money into the market, but I still suspect. I think the most likely explanation for this action right here is that somebody is buying out of the money calls. That seems like the most likely explanation, no? Are we seeing Tesla move like this? Not really. I mean, it is up, but it's not like, it doesn't look crazy to me. Maybe let's open up a new chart here. New chart. AAPL. Apple's at 110. Apple might be a culprit. Okay, so you're buying it, so no disclosure. I don't know if they know your trades, but you don't know theirs. Okay, so you always know when you execute that there's somebody is taking the opposite position, right? So this is something that is really an interesting concept to me. I gotta read that out, but that's funny. So let's do a thought experiment here for a second. What's the best way to do this? Oh, hey, can I just open up like an empty DOM? Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, we'll just do it over here. So here's a question for you. Here's a market, right? Okay. So let's say that a bunch of people bought it here and a bunch of people sold it here. Okay. And let's say that, let's do 10. Let's say that there was 10 here, and then there's 10 at all of these prices. There's 10 at all these prices. Okay. So if I want to buy it, and I'm a big institution that can buy 100 contracts, okay, how, or let's say 30. Let's say 50. Okay, 10. Dot, 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 dot. Okay. And I want to move the price. Okay. And we all know the thing that I think everybody talks about and is kind of like the most basic understanding on order flow is that he could come in and he could just buy all of these contracts, right? He could buy all of these contracts and move it up. Okay. Now, what happens after that? If this is like the market, there's these guys that are market makers. You know what happens is now I have one guy that's long 50, maybe, and then I have X number of guys that are short 50, right? Then what happens? Both of these guys got a position on. What are they going to do? Right? Well, one thing that could happen is these guys could decide, well, okay, I don't really want to be long that, so I'm going to bid this to try and get out. Right? That's one thing that he could do. But what if he doesn't do that? Then you got a liquidity vacuum, right? This is all gone. It's going to have to come back down to here. Right? So now what happens? This guy that's long, he's long 50 contracts, and he's negative on the position because his average position is like something like right here, right? His average position is here, and because of the liquidity vacuum, it got pulled down. Right? And so really, if I'm going to push it up there like that, I either need the market makers to continue bidding it, or I need more people to follow in after me. And that's really like the key thing is that these guys, these short-term guys, they, by the end of the day, they want to be flat, right? So you can't rely on him to push it up further. You need somebody else to come in after you and buy it. So what really actually ends up moving the price in the end? Well, it's when these market makers decide to move their bids up and when they decide to pull them. That pulling is kind of ends up mattering more, right? You'll notice if you go and you look at like, how many orders are being added and removed and so forth, that on net, more orders get removed. On net, more orders get removed. Right? Why? Because that's really how a market maker can move prices. He can say, I don't want to trade that area. I'm long and I don't want to take profits there. I'm just going to pull my liquidity and put my liquidity up here. That makes sense? Let me call Mark and now. Robot, I see your stop. They can't see your stop. That might be the case in when your order flow is being sold when you're trading Robinhood. That might be the case. I don't know if they sell your stops. They sell your order flow. They don't necessarily know where your stop is. The thing, though, is that, like I said again, you can make pretty general assumptions about the way that people trade. And so you don't actually have to see their stops, right? If you know where people are in at generally, like, just think about it. If you got long and you just had something go like 50 ticks in your favor, and then it came back to your entry, what are you going to do? You're going to get out, unless you're stupid like me. And then you'll hold it and let it go all the way against you. But generally speaking, you come back to break even, you're going to get out, right? Or option two, like if you're trading multiple contracts, like say I'm allowed to trade 2 contracts. I took it, 150 points. I took one of them off. It came back and it's back to that spot where I got in at. I could add some because I have this margin to work with underneath of me, right? I'm not break even if it goes below me. So I'll buy it there. And you see that behavior, right? It's just kind of like a no duh sort of a thing that people tend to do. And so on average, you can kind of make certain assumptions about the way that people behave. And then you can look at it and see, okay, what does the model say about that? And how is the market actually functioning? And based off of that, you get a much better idea of what's actually going on. You took a short? Robot Ace hasn't taken anything today. I did a little bit of work on that, and I did improve it. I did improve it considerably. So that bug that I was talking about, where it can take it both ways, I fixed that, and it made it a lot better. But I made my robot more stingy than you. Like it won't. It's like taking maybe one a day. So. You fight buy programs until there are 5 2-minute red candles. You can't tell when they'll be over until they are really reversed. Well, you can't. If it's new money entering into the market, then you're right. You don't really know how much more new money can come into the markets. But this is where I think that you kind of have to get into, like, this is where I really don't feel like the technicals are going to tell you anything, right? This is where I ask, why? If a buy program just bought that much, and here in the E-mini, I think we can say that happened, or somewhere in the stock market that happened. Why did he do it? Is there a piece of information? Is there a piece of news that's out there, like breaking news, that we missed? I don't see it. It's been 30 minutes. I still don't see anything. So you really got to wonder if you want to follow him or not. Because he could be done. And like I said, if he's done and he's just going to sit on that position, how do you know that the market makers aren't just going to let it come back down so that they can even themselves back out? Right? There's an inherent problem with following other people. If they executed before you and they got a better position than you are at a disadvantage compared to them. And they're going to take their profits, and then you're going to get screwed. You're going to get left with the bag. Well, it sure has been up here for a long time, hasn't it? And they did push a little higher. And my thing tried to take a short, but he didn't get it. He got stopped out. He got a little bit of momentum, but it didn't really carry through. That was actually one where I think it shouldn't be taking a trade. I think because when I look at the orders, like the maximum number of orders in the time period, it is up there. I think it's because of these. Well, how much is it? 1242? I can't exactly explain where it's all coming from. But then when I look at the ones that are there consistently, there's more down here. So it's kind of a mixed signal for me. But I don't know. The way that they've done this in the past on Fridays, they'll just continue going up and I'll just sit here, right? So it sure is buying. Yeah. I don't know. really want to interact with you, Eric, but I can't even understand what the fuck you're saying half the time. You're gonna. It's okay if English isn't your first language, but you really need to use full sentences. Bellicose saber rattling from the editor-in-chief of the Global Times with regards to the China-India border. It's like Morse code with a short in the wire, right? You're a programmer? You would live on the West Coast? He's probably watching me while he should be working. That's okay. You can do that. You're allowed. Well, I'm not going to discourage him from watching. What are the chances the S&P will go up to 4K versus going down to 3K? Oh, well, I mean, we're a lot closer to 3K, right? And the trend is down. So I think that probability-wise, you'd have to say that it's almost certainly a higher probability that you're going to go down to 3,000, right? This is the nature of edge, right? Is if it prices further away, you have a better reward. You have a better reward if it goes higher, but you have a higher probability of it going lower. You're long 3257? I don't know. I think you might get it, but that sounds like a FOMO trade, Ace. I don't know if it's... I have to... another thing that I find really interesting is we had those really strong up moves, right? Since then has been dead. There's like no volume in it. Just curious if after the elections it will make a rally higher or just plummet further down. Hey, Miss MISs. Well, that's really hard, Alex. I'll kind of go over what Wall Street thinks about this, right? So the general consensus opinion was at the very beginning, especially, and I think that Goldman Sachs is probably the biggest proponent of this view, is that if Joe Biden is elected, that he will increase taxes, and that will be an extremely negative event for stocks. Okay. That all of the multiples are going to change because all of those taxes, it's bad for stocks. Okay. Tried going short again? Is he going to get screwed over again? Let's see. He's down $30 today. Anyways, so then some other people, I forget who it was, Bank of America City, one of them, their analysts came out and they said, well, we think that there are some good things about Joe Biden, like that he's not going to attack China and that he'd be more stable and that it kind of evens out. And so they were actually kind of saying that it was like a buy regardless of whoever wins, which I don't agree with, but that's where people are going here, right? So I don't know. Here's the thing is that if I really want to put money to work in the markets right now as a professional money manager and I'm trying to manage my risk, don't really see a reason to get in right now. Now, for us as retail, there could be, right? Because if we really continue going down, I don't know how far. Well, I mean, where are we looking at? I think 3,000 is a pretty likely target right now, right? If we just kind of come back, like 3,000 is not that far. So we're at 3250 right now. 3250. 3,200, and then there's 2 steps down to 3,000. It's possible, if this route were to continue, that we could go back to 3,000. Yeah, sure. I know, but that's the thing is that if like the market goes like excessively lower, could be a good opportunity for us. So especially if it was like the right names, you know. So I don't know. I didn't even have that open so that you could see it, but it's fine. There was nothing really to see. Okay, so that one was a winner. So I've had like what? 3 losers and a winner on that strategy? Yeah, 3 losers and a winner. I'm glad that it took this twice. That's cool. 3,000 is a 7.7% drop from here. Yeah. Well, I don't think that they would be aligned straight to it. But I just know based on the structure and everything else like that it's not unreasonable. Like honestly, we could get down to 3,000 in a week if we really wanted to. There was really a reason. Like if Joe Biden got elected, then I could see us drop down to 3,000. Much more likely than 4K in my opinion. Oh yeah. So if I was going to make a prediction that I think I had a high probability of catching correctly, and given that I can, set up whatever kind of bet that I want, my bet would be that we've seen the high of the year, or at least the high until after the election. The recovery is going to be much more slow from here. Things are mostly priced out, and now we've kind of got to pull back and price out the reality. Let's not make this personal, says agreed. Okay, London closes done. I don't know, John. It's just awfully dead, don't you think? I really don't know what the deal was with that crazy long action, but oh. Okay, I'm hearing positive Brexit news right now. Maybe that was why it spiked up earlier. That could definitely. I'm going to wait until it comes out on Twitter to give you the exact text here, because I don't want to say something incorrect. Not so sure. So it was a little too tepid, so I'm going to take it off. Oops, I clicked it twice. Fire breaks out at Huawei's 5G antenna research lab. Okay. I don't know. What's the deal? They barely managed to hold above that level for 2 weeks here after they got back to it in September. Yeah. Well, I really don't think that they ever should have gotten up there. They only got up there because of manipulation. But you're right. Like, even if so, the other question is like, if Donald Trump wins, then is that an automatic buy? I don't think so, because there's still other risks, like primarily being fall wave. Of course, by that point, we have a much better idea of what a fall wave looks like. But oh, it's taking it short again. We should be cautious about that one. That's not 40 ticks away, though. I don't know. No. UK government on Brexit talks. There remains a lot of work to do. Either outcome is still possible. Okay, what's John got here? Oh, you're just showing us like the longer term stuff. Yeah. Oh, look, you have a 50-day moving average on here. So I did some investigation on the 50-day moving average, and I found some interesting things about it. It turned out that it was effective, but not as a short signal. In fact, when you got a short signal, it was more than likely to just chop around that moving average. If Trump wins, market down in October and then election, I don't know. It might just be volatile. I don't know. Here's a scenario for you. We have a debate on Tuesday. Donald Trump does such a good job at the debate that Biden is basically assumed to lose. But then what? And all of this stuff about that we'll have a contested election and all. What if all of that came out? Do you want to go long then at that point? I don't know. This bot, he went short, but it's not running for him. Like, he might get lucky, but Salim says, did you see your track record? I didn't. I see you posting some stuff the other day, but like, you can't. A track record is going to be like 6 months, dude. It hasn't been 6 months. Yeah, 50 period MA is simply a guide. Well, but the thing that was interesting about it to me was that there was certainly enough edge in it for a large fund to be using it. I don't think that as a large fund that I would be using it to get out per se, but maybe to hedge myself and stuff. Man, I can't believe that didn't get filled. It was so close. It was like literally one tick short. I made 2 trades in 6 months. Well, then what are you doing? Clearly not day trading then. Okay. So in order to be able to pull any statistical significance out of something, you need at least 50 trades. Right? Like this robot, it was good yesterday. Should we say, it's good now? No. We're gonna have to run it for a couple of weeks. You have 14 fills today? You traded a lot. Oh, what was your win rate? So I only took, I did okay today, but yeah. Oh, how come I'm negative? Oh, because it's counting the robot in that. Made $100. It's I'd say some of my results are because those ones were like the winners I took multiple contracts on. I don't know. Or it really should probably be more like up 50. If I traded that live, that is. Okay, so they're coming back out of that stop zone. I don't know. Oh, did it take it again? Oh, no, it didn't. I thought for a second that was another entry, but it wasn't. I want to see Ace's robot go. It's not going. Nothing today. Okay, so by the way, they finally broke the ATR stop too. So we have to consider that something has changed. Yeah, that one, it was like, it was right. I mean, ultimately, it had the bigger thing right, but it was early, I guess. They saw my robot do it and they said, let's stop him out first. Look at that. 48. Well, 45 was kind of the areas, so. Let's see here. Let's not make this personal. Says 10 of 14. Holding 3. Oh, 10 of 14 were winners? That's good. That's over 70%, right? I think that's... Oh, no. That's more like 60%. Oh, you're right. I have a meeting starting in 1 minute. So I got to get going. Gonna call it Range Bound Friday. Friday breaks. Positive. And since we don't have anything better, and I will see you guys on Monday. Stay profitable.